Just put this in there, keep turning it. It's like a file. So it's Monday morning. I'm on the bridge heading to a customer. So I figure out how to stop this camera from going over. I'm loading directly onto the grapefruit. Some of the product going on the reefer. So I try my best not to be late. I'm not sure when there's a truck they're waiting for and get with the stuff. And to be considerate, I know when I used to haul reefer, I used to hate sitting in the dock for a long time, man, because sometimes you're there for hours. So I don't want anybody sitting in the dock for hours waiting on the product that I'm bringing there, because I'm late. There's something I can't control, that's different, but if I can't control the time I get there, I try to get there early as possible. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's Tuesday, getting fuel. Pump 109 gallons. And running the way I run, that'll take me up to about Thursday or Friday. Unless something else come up. But for right now, that'll take me up to about Thursday or Friday. And the pump price is $4.49 a gallon. I'll probably pay about $4 or $2 or $3 something. I gotta double check and make sure. I don't pay nothing to go for what's on the pump right there. And the pump price was $4.16. Not the pump price. The price I pay with the discount is $4.16. The pump price is $4.49. I have two fuel cards that I use. Sometimes I use mud flap, but I don't get the best discount with mud flap, so I don't use it all the time. Sometimes I just use it. Sometimes I just use it, depends on where I'm at. I just use it once in a while. I use it. I'm using both of them to keep both of them active. But I don't get the best price with mud flap. And sometimes mud flap work at places that my other car don't work. So that's why I use both of them too. So it's Tuesday. I'm in the port. Today is not one of them days where everything already lined up. It's not one of them days. I have some container that gotta go to the customer. They came released late last night, about 9:30 when they released. So now I gotta wait to hear from them this morning to see if they're gonna take any of them today. They're local. They are local runs, about 8 miles roughly. And sometimes they already have some containers there. They don't have room for a lot of containers. They only have room for about 4 containers. They don't offload them in the door, they offload them outside. So they already have containers there. Once one get picked up, then they'll tell me bring one, and that's how I keep switching up. If it's none there, they'll take 4. So you could drop 4 there. As soon as you drop it, they get on it. Take them about an hour and a half to unload it and clean it out, and you go back and pick it up. So normally, if I'm taking 3 to them, the first one I drop, they get on it right away. By the time I drop the third one, the first one will be empty, and I could grab that one, turn it in, and bring them another one. I like when they go like that because I get to use the same chassis for another container that same day, and they don't keep the chassis overnight and end up having another day chassis built. So I like when they're empty, then I could pick it up, turn it in, grab another one on the same chassis and bring it back to them. So we'll see how today goes. Right now I'm bringing in an empty reefer. Picked this one up from a customer late yesterday evening. At about 4 o'clock when they let me know it's empty. Went over there, pick it up. Now I'm here to turn it in because the port closed at 5. So you pick up a container 4:30, you might not be able to catch a port with traffic and the distance and stuff like that. I'm hoping the volume pick up a whole lot so they go back to the late hours where they open till like 9-10 at night. They close about 9-10 at night and they open earlier in the morning about 2-3 o'clock. 24 hours would be nice if possible, but the way the volume look, they're not going back to 24 hours no time soon. But closing at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock, that'll be good right there. So yesterday I called on a load. It's a show load. I never did a show load with a container before, and they broke a packet, everything. The requirements on this load, you have to pick up the container today. It's going 5 miles. You pick up the empty today, go get it washed out. Even though it's a regular dry box container, you still need it washed out. So I have to go to the truck wash, get it washed out, then go deliver it to the customer. And then we're going to keep it all week. Then I'll pick it back up Friday. I'll pick up the loaded container and take it into the port. Send them an email. It wasn't no phone number on the posting. Send them an email. I called for this broker before, but I guess things have changed. They sent me a new carrier packet to sign, to fill out the carrier packet and everything, and submit it. Then they send me an email back that I'm not qualified because I don't have a DOT inspection. So you run into a lot of that now, with the broker saying that you need to have a recent DOT inspection. Most of them look for 2 years. Once in a while you find one that look for 1 year. I had a DOT inspection. It's not showing up on FMCSA. I contact the DOT about it. I contact FMCSA about it. None of them updated. So it is what it is. What I normally do with some of these brokers, I have a copy of it, so I'll just email it to them and they could override the system. It all depends how bad they want to move the load and if they have somebody else that could do it. If it's a last minute load, they don't have nobody else to do it, or it's the end of the day and you gotta get done today, they could override the system and manually approve you instead of letting the computer automatically approve it. But in this situation, I guess it was early in the day, they know they could find somebody else to do it. So that's why they just say you're not approved. And you need to go get another DOT inspection. Okay. I know all the trucks will pass DOT inspection. That's not an issue. But what does a DOT inspection have to do with you giving me the load? It's Wednesday. We're in the port again. This week, starting off in the port a lot this week. Most mornings it's turning in empties from the day before. Customer called at the end of the day, say the container empty, so we had to go pick it up. By the time I pick it up, the port closed, or port getting ready to close. Big traffic coming back, can't make a port, so end up having to turn it in the morning. It's not so bad right now because we have the time for it. Later on in the day, and sometimes you're going to run into a situation like this where the schedule kind of changes. For this week, like I said, most mornings it's turning in empties. Then later on in the day, after you get your empties in, whether 1 or 2, how many I gotta bring in. Later on in the day, I gotta drop loads at the customer. Some of them that empty the same day. Some of them you drop it, go back for it another day or 2. So this is what it is. It's Wednesday. I got some work to do on a trailer. I still got the chassis I gotta sort out. I gotta finish sanding that down and paint it. Then the drive van, I gotta replace the board in the nose of the trailer from where the forklift driver had damaged that. So once I get a break, whether today or tomorrow, I'll get one of those done. More than likely I'll get the drive van done. I don't want to load it the way it is right now. Because some people might not want to load it because of the board in the front damage. Especially those places that's strict that check your trailer when you go to pick up. So all these forklift drivers, man, I say it all the time, man. Some of them need training. They damage your equipment. You go to pick up you go pick up a load. They inspect your trailer, decide not to load it because your trailer damaged. Then they're acting like you're the one that damaged it, when it's a forklift driver that damaged it. Probably they have some forklift drivers there that's damaging people's equipment too, but they don't look at it like that. They won't tell you they ain't gonna load it, and that's what it is. But we don't get it right. Right now, I don't know if the volume picking up, but for people that have a lot of trucks, those mainly the ones that have a volume issue. If you don't have a whole bunch of trucks, you'll be able to find work to keep you busy. And you're not looking to load 100 trucks. Anything less than, I'll say about 10 trucks, you should be able to stay busy. Unless you just focus on one type of work. There are some people that just mostly focus on imports. There are some that mostly focus on export. Stuff like that. If that's how you're operating, you won't have an issue on finding work. If you're the type that put a container, put a drive van pull a tanker, pull a flatbed, pull a reefer, something gonna come up that you're gonna be able to run. And that's how you stay busy, especially at times like this. You can't just focus on one trailer type. This is not the time for it. It's Saturday, almost midday. I'm out here. I'm about to change the oil on this truck, get that knocked out. Should have came out earlier, but I'm waiting on another truck to come in. I have some work to do on it. I wanted to do that first, but the driver didn't come in yet, so I decided to just, all right, go ahead and knock this out. Hopefully he'll be here by the time I get done with this. Then I could get on the other truck. End up going get these 5-gallon buckets. I used to use a 2.5-gallon jug from Walmart, but I start just going with the buckets instead. I didn't get these from Walmart though, but I started to get these buckets because it's easier to pour the used oil back into the bucket than to pour it back into the jug, whether it's the gallon jug or the 2.5-gallon jug. It's easier to pour the used oil back into the bucket, so that's why I start going with the buckets. And for me, it's not hard to pour the oil out of the bucket into the engine. It's just as easy as pouring it from the jug. So my better option right now is to go with the buckets, and that's what I'm going to start using. I got these on a good deal too. I was doing some research on them, see who have it at what price. End up going to get these. I didn't get them from a dealership, and I didn't get them from Walmart. I don't even remember seeing the 5-gallon buckets at Walmart, so I'm not sure if they carry it. It looks like it's going to rain. Kind of look overcast. What I gotta do on the other truck is mainly inside, so even if it's raining I could still do that. But this right here, I need to knock this out before it start raining. Soon as I take out the drain plug, so I just let it drain while the rain was drizzling a little bit. It eased up now, so I came back out here, loosen up the filters, punch 2 holes in them so they could drain. And once I finish draining, I'll go ahead and take them out, put up the new ones. Put up the new ones, pour the new oil in it. Grease it up a little bit. I greased up the 5th wheel last week. I'm gonna go ahead and grease up the rest of the truck, and that should be good for this one for this week. Grease it up, adjust the brakes, and everything good to go. This 60 series use 2 oil filter. Both of them there. Normally when I buy them from Freightliner, I buy it by the case. I think I'm with either 6 or 8 in the case, so I just buy the case instead of buying them 2 whenever I need them. And I'm starting to do that with all my oil filters. I'm gonna start doing that with a fuel water separator and the fuel filter. Just buy them by the case, so whenever you need them, you already have them. And then, like what happened during COVID, you could hardly get the stuff you needed. So that's why I had start. I think I buy these around the same time too. I buy the case and I put it down, and I was still picking up one whenever I go there. That way I always have more than I need. And if they decide to play games again with our lives, and we can't get filter and oil and all that stuff that we need, I already have them. And this the filter wrench for this for the Detroit filters. Got the size right here, and I'll put a link in the description if you wanna get them. I'll put a link in the description. Got the part number and the size. This make the job a whole lot easier than if you use one of those small wrench that you use like on a car filter or something like that. Because of the angle where the filter at, this is a perfect tool for it. And this oil pan drain from the bottom, and to take out that drain plug you need a 3/4 wrench. You don't need no impact. Use an impact, you're gonna end up damaging the oil pan. Need a 3/4 wrench to take out the drain plug, drain it from the bottom. To take off the oil filter, you need a tool that I showed you before. You need an extension. Sometimes you might have to use 2 extensions, depends on how tight the filter is from the last person that put it on. You need a ratchet, and along with that tool that I'll show you, the filter wrench. So that's what you need to make your job a lot easier. After you got all that off, and the reason I have this 15-16, you could use any size, you don't have to be 15-16. You just need something big enough to go over this right here and give you some leverage to turn it, because sometimes the filter hard to turn because of the angle it's at. So you do something like this, give you some leverage to turn it. Or if you have a ratchet with an extension on it, that'll work too. The ratchet where you could extend the handle, give you more leverage to turn the filter. Once you loosen the filter up, in order to not make too much mess, I use a screwdriver, punch a hole in the filter, or you could use a punch a hole in the filter, let it drain, and then you take the filter down. But I always do that after I already loosen the filter, that way I'm sure that filter gonna come off, and I don't go punching a hole in there. I can't get the filter off, I got a load I gotta run, and then I end up can't run the load because I already punched a hole in the filter. And I just use a hammer to hit the screwdriver to punch a hole in the filter. So that's all the tools you need right there to do your oil change on these older motors. Caterpillar, Cummins, Detroit. That's all the tools you need. We're in the driver and trailer. I just had to replace this piece of plywood in the front, in the nose of the trailer. The forklift driver had damaged the piece that was in there, so I got a piece put up in there. I didn't replace this piece, just the bottom piece. This piece still good. I still need to put a self-tapping screw in this piece right here. But other than that, it's good to go. The bottom piece was real bad from how the forklift drivers damaged it. And that's one thing you run into with your trailer. Got this right here. And forklift drivers are real rough on your trailers, man. That's why I wouldn't buy a new driver and trailer. I wouldn't buy a new driver and trailer, because in no time, by the way these forklift drivers go in your trailer with that forklift, in no time you gotta be doing repairs on it. The one that damaged your front, it also damaged your roof. I had to fix that about 2 weeks ago. He damaged it while he was loading it, but we got that taken care of.